This is Renee Collins, and welcome to Overtones.
Tis a gift to be simple. Tis a gift to be free. Tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. Turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight.
Welcome, everyone. You are listening to the 8th broadcast of Overtones on WLXU 93.9 Lexington Community Radio, and I am Renee Collins. And you have just heard a most beautiful and meaningful rendition of the Shaker tune Simple Gifts, performed by Lexington's Liza Binford, setting a most perfect stage today for a special edition of Overtones titled I Am a Room 17 production. Today, we are honoring University of Kentucky Professor Emeritus Sara Holroyd, who was a music educator and director of choral activities at UK from 1961 to 1987. And in the studio today are all students of Professor Holroyd who were under her direction and most competent baton during those years, learning how to hone all of our different crafts and skills in the UK College of Fine Arts Classroom 17. We call ourselves Room 17 Productions because we feel our careers are enjoyed now because they were produced in Room 17, and we have several of our Room 17 productions in the studio today. We will be welcoming, aside from Liza Binford, Gary Bertram, Dean Phelps, and Warren Cobb. This story would take several hours of Overtones airtime today to tell in its entirety, but if you would like to learn more about Professor Holroyd, contributions to Kentucky music and UK, please visit room17productions.com. We have an action-packed, all-star lineup, and we are going to first hear a recording from North Carolina's musical treasure, star of her own radio show at the historic Reeves Theater, Martha Bassett. As we make one more run at honoring a great lady today, here is Martha Bassett singing One More Run.
How my Lord turned water to wine, how my Father turned rye into shine, bringing the Spirit to all good men. Crucified one, put the other in the pen. One to feel good, two to feel fine. Won't be feeling nothing when you run it 3 times. Spent all my money on fine red wine. Never spent a dime on moonshine. Thick as blood, pure as water. Jesus knows I'm a moonshiner's daughter. One for thick as blood, pure as water. Jesus knows I'm a moonshiner's daughter. One for some and two for more. One more run for the Holy Ghost. Thick as blood, pure as water. Jesus knows I'm a moonshiner's daughter. One for some and two for more. One more run for the Holy Ghost.
And that was Martha Bassett, one of Sara Holroyd's Room 17 productions, based out of North Carolina. And we will be back after the break.
I'm gonna take a sentimental journey. I'm gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jay Winstall, your public address announcer for Northern Kentucky University basketball, and I'm a Room 17 production.
I am Deborah DeWeese. I am a family court judge, and I am a Room 17 production.
Hello from Northern Kentucky University. I'm Joan Joseph. I'm preparing future teachers in the Department of Education, and I'm a Room 17 production.
Hi, I'm Janwyn Overstreet Good. I'm a high school choir director in Friendswood, Texas, past president of the Texas Music Educators Association, and I am a Room 17 production.
Hi, I'm Margaret Dyke Keith. Sarah and I came to UK at the same time. I was very lucky, and she asked me to help her set up her office, and I had a job the first semester doing that. I am now organist at the First Presbyterian Church in Hazard, and I am a Room 17 production.
My name is Richard Burns. I have had a career as a music educator and a church musician, and currently I'm the choral director at Lexington Traditional Magnet School, and I am a Room 17 production.
Nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee, even though it be a cross that raiseth me, still all my song shall be, nearer, my God, to thee, nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee. Though like a wanderer, my son gone down, darkness be over me, my rest a stone. Yet in my dreams I'll be nearer, my God, to thee, nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee. waking thoughts bright with thy praise. Out of my stony griefs, Bethel I'll raise. So by my woes to be nearer, my God, to thee, nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee, nearer to thee.
And you've just listened to the musical artistry of Lexington musician Dean Phelps. And Dean, we are so glad to have you here with us today.
Thanks, Renee. It's good to be with you.
And alongside with me, as we always have, is Whitney Akey, my beautiful and talented co-host.
Hey, guys.
And Whitney, Dean has been at the Twisted Cork as a performer on several occasions, also in a Songwriters in the Round. And what can you speak to his talent?
Gosh, we love to have Dean. I just said I'm so excited to listen to Dean today. It's a wonderful thing to be in his presence. He's incredibly talented, and it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to hear Dean.
Yeah, I agree. And Dean, let me just ask you, since we are gathered here today to celebrate the wonderful career of Sara Holroyd, do you have a favorite Sara story? And let me just kind of, I guess, ask you to talk about the fact that you actually named your guitar after Sara Holroyd. And I put him on the spot here, so.
That's true. That's true. My time at UK was not exactly smooth, and so I really credit Sara for a lot of patience with me. Somebody put it to me one time that I was flailing, and that's a pretty good description of my time at UK. But later on in life, a few years later, I was living in Georgia at the time and had a break-in my home. And both of my guitars, both the guitars that I owned at the time were stolen, and my stereo system got stolen as well. I think I put it one time that, somebody took a piece of my soul and stuck it in the trunk of their car and drove off with it.
Yeah, we had a common story with the Trippin' Roots last week, very similar situation.
But not too long after that, I visited a music store in Smyrna, Georgia, and there was this used D28 on the rack there, and I picked it up, and it was just, in Harry Potter, when you go to Ollivanders, the wand chooses the wizard. Well, I think the instrument chooses the player,
Absolutely.
too. And just, there was something in that guitar, my hand just fit to the contour of the neck. And I don't think you really give a guitar a name. I think the guitar eventually tells you.
Yes.
But that D28 became my beloved Sara. Really, really named after Sara, because that guitar, like Miss Holroyd, was very, very patient with me. I mean, it has been with me through a lot of different styles of music, through driving country cover band to schmaltzy singer-songwriter ballads, and now Merle Travis style thumb-picking beats. But that guitar has been with me longer than Debbie's been with me. So I've been with that guitar longer than I've been with my wife. So we have an agreement.
I like it. Well, we are so glad you're here with us today. We're going to hear more from Dean in just a minute. To open the show, we heard actually from Liza Binford, who was playing an instrument that not many of us are familiar with, and it's called a monochord. And Liza, explain to us what a monochord is.
So a monochord is an instrument. It's a fretless instrument, and I think originally Pythagoras, who was a mathematician and a musician, he realized that when you took a string and divided it up into partials, you could get other notes on top of that, overtones, if you will. And so this particular version of the monochord, it's tuned to a perfect fifth. There's 21 strings. So there's an octave of a C and then G. And as they're vibrating sympathetically at the same time, you hear those really light, extra notes, those overtone notes that are vibrating on top of it. So it's a very ethereal instrument. A lot of people, when they hear it, they're like, "What is that sound?" It's very some people say it's sort of like space. As other people say, it's very soothing and calming. I think it's very calming to the nervous system. That's my theory. But I love singing with a drone. You always kind of come back to the one. And so that's the instrument that I play and sing with.
Well, that's wonderful. That's our academic lesson for today, right? I think we visited history and music and math and all kinds of things in that last description.
Right.
So, Liza, you have a favorite story about Professor Holroyd.
I
that
do.
You still tell?
We were in rehearsal, and I had a terrible headache, like a sinus headache, and I just remember being in so much pain, and I had my head down, and I was basically there but not there. And Sara was demonstrating something, and she hits this high note. I think it was a high C or a B or something. And all of a sudden, my sinus headache was gone. It was like the tone completely cleared the pressure in my head. And I just sat up, and I said to my neighbor, I was like, I can't believe that. She just cleared my sinus headache. And I think that in many ways it was a kind of a pivotal moment for me, because I thought, gosh, if sound can impact the body in that way, what else can it do? I used to be kind of transfixed with those, is it live or Memorex? Remember the ones where there's the glass, and then Ella Fitzgerald sings the song, sings a pitch and shatters the glass. So I got really interested in how sound impacts the body, and through singing yourself and through other, singing to other people, and the monochord is part of that whole process too, of opening up the body in a way that's healing, basically. So she was my first sound healing experience.
Well, and it's just real interesting that you tell that story, because as most of us in the room know, that a lot of people might not know, is that when she did retire from UK, she immediately went into nursing school as a 62-year-old and got a nursing degree and practiced in the ER for quite some time. So I really think there's a lot of validity in those connections. And now we've had a health lesson on top of an academic lesson. We've had a health lesson. So we're going to be back after the break to talk more with some other very special guests that we have.
'Tis a gift to be simple. 'Tis a gift to be free. 'Tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight.
Take a sentimental journey. I'm gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bags, got my reservation. Spend each dime I could afford, like a child in wild anticipation. I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gotta take a sentimental journey home. Oh, 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gotta take a sentimental journey home. Gotta take a sentimental journey home.
that's a big round of applause.
Thank you, thank you.
That was Gary Bertram, and we are all taking a sentimental journey in here today, aren't we?
Yes.
And we have some of her 70s kids here today. I call them the 70s kids. You and Dean were from the 70s decade, I believe. And we welcome Gary Bertram to Overtones today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. For having me.
Tell the audience about the years you spent in room 17 studying under Professor Holroyd.
Well, I had actually started UK in '71 and was there a year and a half, and then I had a little hiatus. I actually got drafted by the Army for the Vietnam War, and so I decided to join the Air Force, and so I did a 4-year Air Force stay, and then when I got out of the Air Force, I came back to UK and started back with music. And my first experience with Sara was, I think it was either the first or second day that I had rolled into the classroom. She came up to me and she said, Gary, we are desperate. We need somebody to go out to Channel 27 and sing on the television program for June Rollins. And the person we had canceled, and can you do it like tomorrow? And I just kind of gulped and said, well, I think I'm ready. And so anyway, that was my first experience with Sara Holroyd, and so I knew she was going to throw me into the fire every now and then. But that was a great experience to go out there and represent the university and the music program there. So that was a great experience.
Well, what fellow Room 17 members did you remember enjoying being around most and playing music with?
Joe Barnett, Miles played the piano for me, and of course Bill Howell and Susan Lockman, and there's just the names just. I think there's Kim. So I can't remember some of the last names, but anyway, we had a really good chorus group, and one of the things I really respected about Sara is that she was pretty focused in her rehearsals. And she was a very determined lady that she wanted us to I think really have the mindset to think that we were actually in a performance during our rehearsal. And I really respect that, because there's an excellence about that. When you can prepare the people that are getting ready to perform, as though you're in that situation. And so anyway, we, of course, how it is with friends. You want to talk and laugh and have fun. Boy, she'd get after us, and and that was a part of the excellence with her. I think she wanted us to kind of grasp that vision as though we were there, and I really admire her for that.
We are so appreciative of you being here today. And I'm wondering, I'm going to kind of put him on the spot a little bit. Would you play some instrumental version of Sentimental Journey to take us into the next break?
Sure.
And this is Gary Bertram, another Room 17 production. Welcome back to a special edition of Overtones called I Am a Room 17 Productions. You are listening to Lexington Community Radio, 93.9 WLXU FM. And please welcome to Overtones the composer of the tribute song written for Sara Holroyd, Room 17. This is Warren Cobb and Company.
Someone to believe in, someone to help us to grow. Sara, you're my hero. You have been for a long time, and I think it's time you should know of the unspoken love between us a student and a teacher, a love filled with respect and admiration for your talents as a leader and your patience as a teacher, and the character that you conveyed to us all. You gave me the chance to believe in myself, to be better than I ever thought I could be. And you gave me the inspiration to reach out and touch others with the love that God gave you and me. We learned respect for the music that binds us together, to strive for that perfect major third. And we learned how to listen and be silent in the reverence of the beautiful moments we shared. But I will always remember the joy of the moments, like Shakertown and the Madrigal's Cornish hymns, and the peace of mind of feeling naked in a room full of people, lifting hearts and voices up to the winds. We love you, Sarah. We love you, Sarah. We love you, Sarah. We thank you for just being you. We love you, Sarah. Oh, we love you, Sarah. We love you, Sarah. We thank you for just being you. We love you, Sarah. Oh, we love you, Sarah. Oh, we love you, Sarah. We thank you for just being you. We love you, Sarah. Oh, we love you, Sarah. We love you, Sarah. And you'll always be a hero to me. And you'll always be a hero to me.
Gosh, I'm the only one that can applaud right now, so I guess I'm going to ask you all to applaud now. Give you time to put your instruments in. That was just wonderful. Great job. Warren, tell us about the origin of that song, because it's got a very special meaning to you, doesn't it?
Well, I wrote this for Sarah's retirement party back in, I think, 1987. Is that when she retired, I believe? And I couldn't be there. I had a gig that night. I was playing, and I so wanted to be. But so I had a little 4-track Fostex recorder, and I recorded myself in a harmony and my guitar part, and I got a guy to play bass and fiddle and whatnot. And then I printed out the lyrics to the chorus, and gave that to somebody to bring to the retirement party. And they handed out the lyrics, and apparently everybody sang on the chorus, and there wasn't a dry eye in the room, which was hopefully, what my intention was. And so,
mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
well, I agree. Wonderful job. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And that most definitely led to the time and special moments we all share today as a result of a very common experience of being in Room 17. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
And I just really want to thank Andy and Joel for coming in and playing with us on that song today. Let's give them a round of applause. We were recruiting everybody today, as a matter of fact. Anybody could have come off the street, I think, at this point. So we're so thankful that you showed up for us today. On very short notice, I might add. And Liza, do you have another simple gift to share with us today on that monochord?
I do. I have a song that my mother taught me when I was younger, and it's called She Moved to the Fair.
Liza Binford on the monochord.
My mother said to me, my father won't mind, and my mother won't slight you for your lack of kind. She stepped away from me and this she did say, oh, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. Oh, she stepped away from me and she moved through the fair, and fondly I watched her move here and move there, and then she was gone like one star awake, like a swan in the evening moves over the lake. Last night she came to me, my lover came in, so softly she crept that her feet made no din. She stepped away from me and she did say, oh, it will not be long, love, no. It will not be long, love, no. It will not be long, love, till our wedding day. My lover came to me, my lover came in, so softly she crept that her feet made no din. She stepped away from me and there she did say, oh, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day.
You've been listening to Overtones, and that was Liza Binford, and we will be back after the break.
Hi, I'm Dean Phelps. I'm a pastor, performer, recording artist, and I'm a Room 17 production. With her old harmonica, she stood against the wall. Her silver head kept time as I would play. She took my invitation, she responded to the call, and as we shared an old refrain, I knew I had to say, Play on, Pauline, there's music in the air. Play on, Pauline, the song can lift the load that you bear. Let's make a new memory, let's make people smile, because you've got a song. Play on, Pauline. She knows the years are rolling, fog and mist into her mind. Familiar scenes will slowly fade from view. Someday friends and family might be strangers left behind, but for today each note she plays will ring out clear and true. From this valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile, for they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathway a while. Tune can weave its way into the fabric of your soul and stitch around the memories living there. The song's her chosen weapon, fending off the specter's toll. That ghost may claim tomorrow, but today won't have his share. Play on, Pauline, there's music in the air. Play on, Pauline, the song can lift the load that you bear. Let's make a new memory, let's make people smile, because you've got a song. Play on, Pauline. Hold on to the memories, hold on to the smiles. You blessed me with a song. Play on, Pauline.
Great job. You've just listened to Dean Phelps and Warren Cobb playing. What was the name of that song, Dean?
It's called Play on, Pauline.
Okay, and we are so glad you've been able to be here with us today. You had a closing thought, I believe, or something connected to Liza's story.
Well, it is. That song is one that I wrote when I played a festival in Brown County. It's actually a woman that I met up there. I was playing on a patio and noticed this woman going through the motions like she was playing a harmonica. And so I finished the song I was playing, and I hollered back at her. I said, "Why don't you come up here and do that?" She said, "Why?" I said, "Because it would be fun."
Yeah.
So we did. We played a song together, and I got to thinking that one of the things that Sara reinforced for me is singing as a community activity, a group thing, singing together. Your story, Liza, about how music, brings physical healing. I'm really of the belief that a lot of the division that we see now could really be healed if we would just sing together more. There's a lot to be said for singing together and making music together.
Well, thank you so much for those closing thoughts, Dean. And I wanted to circle back around to Whitney because I think she had something to comment about Liza's beautiful performance.
I did. I have never heard that instrument before. I'm a little mind blown right now. I'm pray that that's what heaven sounds like. I can see how that could be so therapeutic, and I almost just want to go and learn how to play one just so that I can relax at home. I don't think I've ever been more relaxed. It's amazing.
And Liza, you've mentioned before that you felt it's a democratic instrument. Can you speak to that? Because I think that's a great observation.
Well, I think frequently in our culture we've lost the ability to, because we don't sing communally the way we used to. People would come together with church or synagogue or what have you. Or, in other times when people were hoisting up the sails and they're singing songs. We don't have that kind of daily singing, which I think binds us together as a community, but it's also toning our own, lungs and organs, that all of that sound vibration is really healing ourselves on a deep level. With the monochord, so with that being said, I think that we have a tendency to feel like, music belongs to the musicians, that you have to be specialized, that you have to really know how to play. And what I like about this instrument, it's very calming and it's not difficult to play, but it still has an amazing sonic effect on the mind and the body. So it's not difficult to play, but it doesn't make it any less profound or important.
Well, we are so thankful for all of you for being with us today, all of these wonderful Room 17 productions. And I'm going to have Dean kind of carry us out here with a little instrumental version. We started with Simple Gifts, and we're going to end with Simple Gifts. And I just have a few closing comments. Famed Kentucky writer Jessie Stewart so appropriately quoted one time as saying, "I am firm in my belief that a teacher lives on and on through his students. Good teaching is forever, and the teacher is immortal." Professor Emeritus Holroyd will be awarded an honorary doctoral degree from the University of Kentucky at Rupp Arena, and at 93 years old, she will become Dr. Sara Holroyd to all of us. I'd like everybody to join as I say 1, 2, 3. We love you, Sara. 1, 2, 3. We love you, Sara. That's all for today. This is Renee Collins reminding you that when words fail, music speaks. Have a great week, everyone.